Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Now today guys, I have got a game from GLSnute, the blue Zerg in the top right, and he is up against CrazyCow for those of you who cannot read that. Now CrazyCow is the red Protoss player in the lower left position. The map is Daybreak and I am so excited to be casting Daybreak because I love it. I think Daybreak is my favourite map. I'm gonna say it is. Everyone loves Daybreak. I would be shocked if someone doesn't like it because it is just so well balanced. It's got so many cool little things, none of which are completely overpowered, none of them really corner you into doing something specific. So it is without doubt an absolutely amazing map, and we are going to see obviously CrazyCow here go for a pylon because a forge fast expand on this map is so safe. You can even get away with a Nexus first in my opinion because let's face it, the rush distance is huge, as you can see by this probe. Taking absolutely forever to get round everywhere because until these rocks in the center are knocked out, it really is a long way. So Nexus first viable, even if not a Nexus first, going Forge first into Nexus is just so easy to do. Like without a doubt, it is something that every Protoss player should do on this map. It's completely safe. Snute on the other hand, not going to be going hatch first, or at least I don't think he will, because basically, if you go hatch first, you expose yourself to cannons, and especially on a map like Daybreak, there's quite a lot of space back here. There's even space over here you can put cannons in. That can be very, very awkward, and you can get cannon rushed. So I much more expect to see Snute go for something like a 15 pull, there we go, literally as I say it, into a relatively quick expansion, and then a third base at roughly 4 to 5 minutes, aiming for about the 4-minute 20 mark. That is the best point you could possibly hope for in getting out your third base. Now we do already have a pylon block coming down here from Cow, and basically Snute can do two things. If it finishes, then it's not worth Snute trying to take this out. He should go and take his third base down here first. That is the best option to take, and as you can see, Cow is allowing that to finish, so I am almost certainly going to see Snute go and take his third base first. Now we do have a Forge first here out of Cow. He's not going to go for the Nexus first or anything too crazy like that, so that is all good. Both players going for relatively safe openings at the moment, and here we go. We do have the probe coming down, and it's going to try and block the third base of Snute as well. That could be very annoying, especially if you delay that significantly. It can really have a knock-on effect because you've got to remember, for Zerg players, of those of you who don't follow StarCraft well, if you don't allow them to expand, not only do you stop them getting extra income, but you also stop their production, and that is exactly what we're going to see Cow do here. And basically now Snute is in a very awkward position where he can't expand. He's really reliant on the Zerglings that are only just coming out now. By getting more Zerglings, obviously, he could get his bases out quicker, but that in turn would mean that he's got less lava for the drones, less income, and therefore going into the mid-game will be in a bad spot. Now you can see here, the Cow's in a really good spot, to be honest. I mean, this pylon and the natural base is only just going down now, so as you can see, Snute's natural base is going down in about 4 minutes 15ish, and that is only just after he wants to be getting his third base, which he's getting simultaneously. So you can already see here the delay this has caused Snute, and that is going to be very frustrating for him, and does actually put Cow in a good position. Now we've got the gateway on its way down, the double assimilator for the gas, so that is all fine. As we can see here, we've got the one gas up already for Snute there. That queen is injecting very quickly. Now the only thing I might say in terms of Snute play is that considering he is going to start banking up a lot of money as he's unable to spend it all due to only having the one hatchery, he could start looking at getting additional queens, and there we go, literally just started the production on a second queen. That means he should be able to chuck down a creep tumor before transitioning that down to the third base, and then obviously you get another queen at the natural. Now we do have the gateway finishing up just now, so we should see a cybernetics call shortly. There we go, brilliant. Cow doing everything that he should, corner boosting our probes as well, 2 at a time, and that means that we do see the Protoss player ahead in terms of the harvester count, not by much, but that is still significant. In the early portion of the game, any additional income you have can be very potent and mean that going into the mid-game you can be in an absolutely amazing spot. Now I do have one queen transitioning down. The second queen is... where is the second queen? Both queens actually transitioning down now, so the third queen has not yet been started at the main base. That needs to start getting done soon. And I would actually like to see a queen purely for spreading creep. That is always a great move in my opinion, because creep gives you vision, it gives you a lot going on. Now we do have a Stargate out of Cow here. This is going to be some very, very interesting play, and and Snoot really doesn't need to scout that, otherwise it could hit him by surprise. Now there's different options you can get from the Stargate. On the one hand, you could just go straight up Phoenix. That's great because you can pick up drones, queens, and also pick up overlords. We may see a Void Ray as well, depending if Cow doesn't want to commit a bit more to that air superiority. But do you have the lair already on its way out? Now, this is where a very key timing of Zerg versus Protoss comes in. You need to be getting down a Roach Warren and Evo Chamber at the same time. The Roach Warren makes you really quite safe from any kind of gateway pushes or things like that. The Evolution Chamber gives you access to Spore Crawlers, which in turn defend you from Dark Templar in their detection and also helps you defend air. But again, the air is another reason why getting queens out specifically for spreading creep is a great move, because those queens, not only do they help you spread creep, but in turn they also give you additional anti-air defense early on. Now, we do see here the injects going down everywhere, but there are only the 3 queens, and that means that the bases aren't joined up, so the movement of the queens between each base will be harder, and therefore these Void Rays can really start causing a bit of a pain. Now, this Stargate not going anymore, we do have a lot of gateways being added on here, a grand total of 6 more gates. That takes to 7 gates plus a Stargate. That isn't all in, it's going to be with the +1 ground weapons, so that in itself is going to be quite a strong little push. That Void Ray has already revealed itself. There goes the double Evo Chamber ready to deal with it. But again, Overlord's getting picked off. That supply block Snoot, and Snoot actually has no Overlords in production as of yet. That essentially means that he's got quite a long wait until he is going to be able to build any other units. That is something you do not want to be doing. But as you can see here, we've got quite a few Zerglings running around the map at the moment, just getting some good scouting information. And Snoot, now queuing up an awful lot of Overlords, has lost a Zergling, which knocked him down to just under that supply. And he's also built a Spore Crawler, which again is just going to help him deal with that Void Ray, the Spore Crawler there. A Macro Hatch being built. Interesting positioning of the Macro Hatch, actually. I'm surprised that's not up in the main base, where it might be a bit safer. A 4th base coming out from Snoot here as well. He's generating creep over the 3rd base, which actually takes an awful long time to recede, so that won't be too helpful. We do now have a Phoenix out as well. This is going to be a very potent push, and there's an awful lot of sentries here, so if Cow does get good force fields down, this could be a very, very tough push to beat. Of course, Overlord speed is now done. That's why those Overlords are going just so fast. It's crazy. But as you can see, they are still getting picked off. The Queen is there, though. We could see a lift on the Queen. That is quite a likely thing we might see, because obviously the Void Ray will be able to take it out, and there's no anti-air up here. And as you can see, without those bases joined, that Queen is all but done for. That's going to hurt the production of Snoot, and ultimately, it's just a massive win for Cow. Now, we do have, of course, these forward pylons on their way down. We have a lot more Stalkers being added in. No sign of a counterattack anyway. We have a lot of Zerglings. We do have some Spine Crawlers coming up here at the 3rd base to defend it. But, of course, we may see Cow just come straight into the natural, which would be a good choice. The Void Ray has already picked up 1 Spore Crawler. Another one is rerouting. But all of the target fire of this Void Ray going to the lair, but as soon as that damage starts hitting, instant reactions out of Cow to move back. Another Queen getting lifted, and of course this is just big damage being done, and it's going to really start damaging him. But lots of Queens in production. We do have the main push coming in terms of the ground army, and with only a handful of Zerglings, Snoot is going to have to do an amazing defense. A lot of Zerglings are hatching now, but the +1 upgrades for the Protoss weapons are done. Some amazing force fields denying all of those Zerglings from being able to get anywhere near the Protoss army. And basically, with this move, Cow is in just such an amazing spot. He's engaging with near 100% cost effectiveness, and well, so many drones getting taken down. A wise move by Snoot trying to pick off the reinforcements, but still just so much of an army that I don't see how Snoot is going to be able to defend this. He's falling so far behind. He has lost an awful lot of workers. That is putting behind in the worker count already, yet still this push has momentum. We've got the next wave of Zealots on their way in, ready to deal with as many of those Zerglings as they possibly can. And well, these Spine Crawlers, they are a pain, but actually Zealots tank Spine Crawlers really well. And as you can see, all of the Overlords are just getting sacrificed here. Snoot is losing so much stuff. Those Spine Crawlers getting taken down. As you can see already, the Zealots are staying up. Zerglings now joining the fight as well. Just massive reinforcements everywhere. But for the moment, look at, well, it's 2-1 resources lost in favor of Cow. More Zealots are on their way forward, and well, those Zerglings just aren't going to be able to compete, even though they are 1-1 against 1-0. Zealots engage so well anyway, and obviously with the Stalker and Sentry support, Void Ray finally falls, but to be honest, Snoot, he's at half the supply, and he just leaves the game. So that was a very, very good push out of Cal there, and if Snute had scouted earlier, maybe he could have done something. I think the key thing he was missing, obviously, was the Roach War, and he had no Roach tech, so had no way to deal with the ground force. Now, if you did enjoy the cast, guys, please subscribe, because I get new top-level games up every single day of the week. Leave a cool comment as well, what you think of the game, the players, and my casting, and please like the video as well, that'd be super helpful. Anyway, I am Madals, this was an SC2 England cast, and thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.